Hey guys, Craig Beggins here with Century 21 with my brother.
Jeff Beggins here.
Hey, we're going to do an update on Hammock Bay, and we were really fortunate to get this listing about a year ago, and we started selling it, and we were selling, someday we're going to do this. And I just want to let you know that someday is here now, and we're going to show you the progress we've gone through and let you see what's happening out here.
This is interesting for me because I'm over in a different marketplace. I live about an hour away over in Pinellas County. This is in South Hillsborough County, which is absolutely booming. And this is, at this spot here, look, every lot that becomes available gets snatched up and gets built on, and it's done. We're in a beautiful section here. This is the end of the whole Mirror Bay redevelopment, the CDD plan, the whole big master plan community. And it's done. We're at the very end of the road. If Taylor, you pan over this way, the road was over. This was just done, and now recently it's all been cleared out. And this is an amazing community called Hammock Bay. And you're gonna see a lot and follow for some different other perspectives of this one. We got some great aerials, we got some drones, we're gonna show you what's going on here. But the point is, we have 37 people, or is all that's left. Out of 47 lots, there's only 10 have just kind of whisper campaigned out. And we haven't even started the massive launch, and I don't think we're going to need to because 37 lots left.
So we have.
So 37 people are going to get the best, the premier, the ultimate waterfront lots in Tampa Bay, right, on this one. So what's a quick overview?
And
of
it's
Hammock
different
Bay?
because the world has changed. In Tampa Bay anyway, we've become a production build society. I've been selling in Apollo Beach for 30 years, and we used to sell a lot, and you'd pick a home builder, and the home builder would design a house for you the way you wanted it, and you picked out the type of appliances you want, the type of everything you wanted you picked out, because it was your dream. Now it's not like that anymore. The production builders say, these are the 5 floor plans you can pick from. And right here, this is Marisol Point. This is the end, the last piece of Mirror Bay, which is an amazing waterfront community, but the customization is not allowed. So a lot of customers are buying the standard homes, they're ripping out the stuff and then putting in nicer stuff because it wasn't an option. We're gonna have a total different experience. We're bringing back luxury custom home selection to Apollo Beach.
So just clarifying that, this is kind of like I'm not saying in a bad way, but it's kind of a glorified track home community.
Yes.
You get to pick 4 or 5 models and you can kind of tweak your colors if you want to, but that's it. You're not moving walls.
You're not moving walls, you're not picking a different floor plan.
And that was good because a lot of people like that and it made a lot of sense. But there's a lot of people, well, certainly 37 of you, right, that would say, you know what, that sounds great, but I've worked my ass off. I want to have one unbelievable home and give me some ability.
I saw this in a house somewhere and I said, I want that in my home.
That's right. I want a crazy staircase. I want this retractable walls. I want whatever I want to do. So you have the customization, which you don't really have anywhere out here. And it's only for 47 total luxury lots, wide lots, best views, high up elevation. We'll talk about all those highlights going forward. Yep. But this is super exciting. And I'm geeking out over this one because I love it because we don't have anything like this in Pinellas County. This is like the last piece of developable land on the water.
To your point, so this is Marisol Point, the last piece of Mirror Bay. There's 107 lots, and these have sold out in the last 2.5 years, and now they're built out. And we just met the foreman of Park Square Homes, who's the builder here, and he said, we can't wait for this road to start so we can demolish this cul-de-sac, because we can't build on these lots because we have to have this turnaround for emergencies, leading up to what's going to be the ultimate luxury custom waterfront home community.
So we're going to go walk out there. We're going to show you some amazing aerials. We're going to show you some amazing footage. We're going to show you kind of the construction process because I guarantee you most of you have never seen roads, water, sewer going in, new seawalls being pushed, and what really happens in the making of probably the preeminent custom, beautiful luxury community in all of Tampa Bay, starting from true dirt and going away to 47 people that are just going to be living their ultimate life.
Yep. So, and proximity to the bay is going to be to die for. Let's start with seawalls, right? Let's hit one more thing while we're here, Taylor. You know, let's not hide the things. Hurricanes are an issue in Florida, right? We learned our lesson. We were hit with a hopefully 100-year storm about a year ago, and this whole town went underwater. Let's call it what it is. Anything in Apollo Beach, the town, after 1980 is post-firm, flood insurance rate map date. So everything after 1980 had to be built at the current floodplain. None of those houses took water inside. All the streets flooded, right?
Yep.
And then the houses that were built prior to 1980, they flooded. They had 2 or 3 or 4 feet of water inside their homes and they had to rip out everything.
Yeah.
So we have the opportunity now as we're building Hammock Bay. The roads here are 8.5 feet above sea level. Our roads are going to be 9.5, an extra foot above. Yes. Which is different. I live across the canal. Our roads are 7.5 feet, and I took 2 inches of water in my garage. So this is going to be 2 feet higher than where I'm living, no chance of water coming in. And that was a 100-year storm, not prognosticating that we're never gonna have another one.
Most likely no shower.
But we're taking steps to ensure the safety of a home.
And being at that height, you're at the base flood elevations up there, you can take a look at these homes. You don't have to, although some of you will still choose to, you don't have to put the garages underneath anymore, because a lot of the reasons why a lot of homes are doing the garage underneath is because they're not up high enough and they have to, right? So over here, as you can kind of pan and see these houses, they're able to build basically on a higher grade. They put a little stem wall up to get a few more feet.
Yeah, there's like in that house, there's 3 steps going up to the front door.
But you don't have to have that huge expense of an entire another floor underneath it. So it allows you to have a lot more home for a lot more value on here too. So let's go show you how the sausage is made. Let's go look at some roads, let's look at some seawalls, let's go check stuff out.
So Jeff, I think what a lot of people don't understand is we just finished a project about 3 years ago in Mirror Bay, and the lots were 80 feet wide and 105 foot deep.
Yep.
And when you build a house the size of these homes, 105 foot doesn't leave you a lot of room. So we had pools, but they were like 7 feet wide. And there's no room behind the pool for landscaping or a hammock or anything like that. These lots started 150 foot deep. So Taylor, if you can, this is where the road's gonna be. That's a sewer line for the manhole's gonna be in the center of the road.
This is the shitty part of the construction job.
No pun intended. So that's the center of the road. Then pan over that way. These are how deep these lots are. Right, so we're gonna have, compared to a 105 foot lot, the minimum here is 150, 145. So we're gonna have 40 feet more. It's an extra 20 feet in the front and an extra 20 feet in the back. So your guests can park their cars in their driveway. You know what that's like.
Yep.
And you have room in the back for a pool and landscaping and stuff like that. And we get up to 180, 190 feet deep as you go further back in the project.
Yeah.
So you can see all the sewer lines on site now. They're doing something here called dewatering. This is where the road's gonna be. The curbs, the storm sewers, all that stuff's gonna be built here. But we first have to suck all the water out of the land so they can compact it properly so the road can be built.
Yeah.
And that process is going on now. We'll film that in a little bit. But I just like being a kid. Remember Tonka trucks?
Oh yeah.
This is it. I want to come out here and drive.
This is the best part. So if you pan back that way, Taylor, there's the end of the development so far. And this was literally just dirt. So in order to get the roads, the water, and the sewer, and this is the part of the roads and the water and the sewers. And it goes all underneath the road. So you pop it in over here with the excavators. They got the trench boxes in. That's a big trench box. What that does is allows them to separate the area so they can pump the water out to make sure it's compacted down. And they lay the sewer pipe, all of those things, all the way out to the very tip of this peninsula over there. And then after that, where the waters will go on, you'll see the manhole covers. That's an example where the manhole cover will access down. So these things you never see, right? People never see this part of it, which is kind of interesting, I think.
Super fun.
It's a lot of fun.
And we have a good vantage point from here. Taylor, if you turn around, you'll see the seawalls. We're getting brand new seawalls. And these are the corrugated PVC. I don't remember the gauge number, but they're strong. And they're 16 feet long, and they get driven down into the earth to protect from the waterways. And then on top of that corrugated wall is a 2-foot concrete cap, and that's the cap. Now imagine, if you will, we have to fill up to that cap. And the way this is designed is the roads are going to be higher than the seawalls, so the water will drain from the road down too.
That's right.
So look how much more fill has to come in. And that's how high these properties are going to be compared to where we are across the street.
Yeah.
So everything's going to be more storm surge resistant than what we had before.
And flood insurance should theoretically be lower, and all these
the
other
risk is lower for sure.
Yeah, so that's it.
Right.
So let's go look at some seawalls. We're going to show you a lot of in the dirt today because it's really fun and it's great for documentation purposes. When at the end of this, in a couple years, when there's 47 multi-million-dollar beautiful estates, we'll go back and remember when we were just digging in the sewer.
That's right.
So let's go look.
Okay, so here we are. I want to demonstrate the seawalls to you first of all, but there's 2 phases to Hammock Bay. Lots 1 through 22 are all on the south side overlooking no backyard neighbors. And you're going to see a video in a few minutes about the elevation, because the seawater is the sea level, of course, and 27 feet above will be the second level of a house, and you'll see you'll be looking right over those mangroves. Pretty cool. But anyway, so right here we're standing on the new seawall. These are brand new seawalls. They're 16-foot panels that go into the ground and then stick up, and these cap support on top. And these are called dead men, and they anchor back into a bunch of concrete in the back to hold these walls in place. So this is all going to get backfilled with dirt, and then it's going to go up to the road. So you can see a lot of fill still left to be brought in here.
Yeah.
But pan around and look at what we're looking at. Nice wide canals with no backyard neighbors. This is like unheard of.
This is unbelievable. You don't get this anywhere. If you look how high we are now off of the water, which is amazing. And
Yep.
you know, you got to be sensitive. We're on the coast in Florida, so you want to see how are you from a storm surge perspective. You're way better than anybody is else around here. And this is all environmental protected land.
It's owned by the Environmental Land Acquisition and Protection.
So that's
community.
always going to be mangrove islands.
Yeah. And mangroves are super important. I'm an ecologist a little bit. These things fuel the wildlife in Tampa Bay. They clean the canals. Little fish get eaten by the bigger fish, which get eaten by the bigger fish, and it's all part of the ecosystem that keeps Tampa Bay a saltwater estuary, which it is. And look at the base right there. You can't get much closer.
Now we'll show you some of the lots on the end here, but and this is just to re-stress this. There's only 37 more people going to be allowed to live in here.
Correct.
There's 37 lots, and let's talk about how you buy one of these. What do you need?
I want to finish my statement though. So lots 1 through 22. This is lot 22. These have a restriction of 3,500 square foot of living area. And then from lots 23 through 46, those are 4,500 square foot minimum.
Okay.
So these are not going to be your small homes, right?
And I could build with whoever I want.
You could build with whoever you want. Okay. They have to meet our standards, which are the square footage requirements, and what you do inside is kind of your business.
Okay.
Right? But I think what's important to note here, you know, as we were talking about storms earlier, on the street leading into where I live, which is right over there, a lot of those homes flooded because they were built before 1980. And now they have to either raise the homes or do something different. One neighbor just, he took the roof off his house, added 2 more courses a block, and now he's using that as his garage. He's going to park underneath.
Yep.
Then he built a second house on top of that and put a roof on. And it's interesting, it's going to be a beautiful home. But when he looks down, he's looking at his neighbor's roof.
Right.
Right? So he built a brand new house in an old neighborhood. That's not going to happen here because everything is going to be new.
Brand new.
Right? You're not going to have an 8-foot elevation next to a 10-foot elevation next to a 12-foot elevation. Everything's going to be at least 12, and most of the builders I'm talking to are going to go up an extra foot just in case.
And there's something to preservation of capital, right? People like to be with people who are like themselves, right? And so when you get a homogeneous neighborhood like this, you're going to have all these homes are going to be $2-3 million, $4 million homes by the time they're over. And so that's going to be what you're going to be surrounded by on this one.
Yep.
But what I find fascinating is you always do better when you buy early, right? I don't care what the project is. So if you're able to be one of the 37 people who are going to be able to buy in here, you just need 10% down. The lots are in the 6-7 range.
600 to 900 on the canal.
6-7 for those.
And the
kids.
point lots are not for sale right now, but they're going to be $2 million plus, just for the land.
Just for the land. Okay. So, but some of these I could buy. What's the least expensive?
The least is we have 5 lots at $600,000.
Okay.
And there's not a bad lot in here.
No.
They're all just like
waterfront.
this. They're all waterfront, 75 foot wide,
For
145 and 190 feet deep.
And I need how much to buy one?
A bank loan is going to take about 30% down for a vacant land loan. You can buy the lot, sit on it for 2 years, and then make your plans, and you can bring any builder you want as long as they meet our standards.
How long do I have to close?
You have to close probably within 90 days of the finish of the development, which would be probably mid next year.
All right, so mid next year. So I can go in with what, 10% down now?
10% down.
So if I bought a $600,000 lot, I got to give you $60,000 for the title company.
Correct.
So it's safe
it
in
goes
there.
to the law firm's escrow account.
Okay, into the escrow account, and then I have to come up with no more money until maybe the middle of next year.
Correct.
When the development's ready, the roads are done, it's ready to go, and then I actually have my lot, and then I have 2 years to build my house after that.
To start construction.
To start construction.
And we expect construction to take about a year because these are going to be custom homes. And once again, custom homes are different than production homes.
Yes.
Production homes, I know the floor plan. I have one of these 5 to choose from. Yeah. I'm not building walls, I'm not moving walls. I'm building what it is, I built it before, it's going to be quick.
Yeah.
These are custom, they're going to be different, they're going to take longer.
Now, I'll just show you.
But you're going to get what you want.
Correct. So back to the investment, because that's what I think about all the time. If I were a betting man, right? I would say with everything coming from an economic perspective right now, with the ability, with interest rates on a downward slide, right? With the presidential administration offering 50-year mortgages, or about to offer 50-year mortgages, with the threat of the ability to port your actually current mortgage from another home. That's one of those twos will land. We don't know which one, maybe both of them. But the point is, we've got a real estate guy in the White House, right? Which knows that every home, this is an interesting stat, I was reading something this morning, every single home that's sold right now is an immediate $100,000 infusion into the local marketplace. $100,000.
You're hiring a lawn guy,
knives,
irrigation
yard
guy, pest control guy. You're going to Home Depot, getting window treatments and blinds, washers and dryers, everything.
So that's the stimulation reason to have as many new home purchases as possible and to incentivize people to get off the fence. So if there's a call to action, it's right now. If you've got access to $60,000, right, and figure out the rest by the end of next year,
Yeah.
I highly recommend you do that, because there's just 37 of these, and that's it. Then they're gone. And then tell me if you don't think 2 years from now, if everything goes the way it's going, these will be worth more than $600,000.
Well, if you want to play it a little closer to the vest, most of the people who live in this town
Yeah,
have substantially more equity than that.
correct.
Because most of our people bought their houses in the 400 or 500 range, and now worth $1 million, $1.5 million. And you can actually build in here. If you build to standards, you could probably build in here for just under $2 million. But you're not limited to that. If you want to spend more, if you want a $30,000 range, choose the $30,000 range.
The guy you're talking about wants a $400,000 staircase.
He wants a build a $400,000
Have at
staircase. It takes a little longer, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Right? He wants steel beams in the construction. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. It's up to you. Custom homes. We don't get custom homes.
Supply and demand, 8 billion people in the world, we only have 37 that are going to get these lots. So if you guys do the math, if you're able, I would highly recommend you doing this real quick. Let's go to the point and see what's going on out
Okay,
there.
let's do it.
All right, we want to put things into real perspective for you, because that's the most important, because under all is the dirt always, right?
That's it.
And so you've got to look at where is the
Lots of
dirt
it.
located. And if you can see what we're seeing right here, which I know you can, take a look at this. So let's just kind of chunk it down for you. So we've got the United States, you're zooming into the state of Florida, west coast of Florida, west central coast of Florida, the Tampa Bay demographic market areas, Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, right? And it's booming, right? Because if you look at, you want to look at stability, right?
Well, let's talk about the tech sector and all that stuff
That's
that
what I'm
makes
saying.
Tampa Bay so strong.
Stability, right? Stability is, it's like, think about an engine.
And
You've got
diversity.
cylinders going up and down. When something's going up, you take a market like a Pensacola, for example, who's very heavily reliant on the Air Force Base, right?
Correct.
If there were to be a base closure, that whole market's screwed, right? Because it's too heavily reliant. Now, Tampa Bay has...
We have McDale Air Force Base, which is right there.
Yeah, you can see it. You're safe. So you got a huge military, you've got a huge tech sector, which Able builds iPhone components. You got Raymond James, financial sectors.
Yep.
You've got Bill Gates and Vinnick, who just invested $2 billion in Water
Downtown
Street
Tampa.
right here. You've got tourism with Pinellas County beaches, 27 miles of beaches right there on the other side of Pinellas County.
The highest priced real estate in Tampa Bay is downtown St. Pete, right
Yep.
there.
You've got you're right in between the two closest ports to the Panama Canal, with Port Tampa and Port Manatee, which is right on the other side of this environmental protected area right there. Plus, you've got wide open bayfront. So if you look at this, you got to say, okay, is my money safe here? And the answer is, hell of a lot safer here than anywhere else you can go, because you've got an economy that's going to be strong, you've got employment that's good, and you've got things that are safe. That's safe. It's safe and secure. So then you get into this region here. Let's talk about Apollo Beach. Let's talk about this South Shore, South Hillsborough County sector, and you live and breathe it more than anybody. Give us the highlights of what's going on here.
So let's look at South Shore itself is a new demographic we kind of just made up. But Apollo Beach is this side of 41. Now South Shore is the other side of 41 all the way down to Ruskin, which is about 6 miles south. The population is probably close to 100,000 people now, and construction booming everywhere. But the one thing they don't have is waterfront, right? So west side of 41 are the canals, and with waterfront, the closer to the bay you are, the more valuable the land is.
Time is money.
Yeah, time is money on the boat, right? And we talk about things like, we were mentioning this earlier, flood insurance. We have to have flood insurance here, but there's a price of living on the water, right? And flood insurance isn't the end of the world, especially when you think about boating, right? Apollo Beach is a boating community, because you can live not in Apollo Beach for a lot less money and not have a boat, right? But if you do have a boat, let's say you live not on the water and you have a boat.
Yeah.
Where do you keep it? In a
High and
marina?
dry at a marina, yeah.
Okay, how many marinas are there around?
Not a bunch.
Are they full or are they empty?
They're full.
They're full. Then there's dry storage lots.
Yeah.
They're expensive.
Or you shove it on a trailer.
Or you put it on a trailer, keep it in your yard, but most yards have HOAs. They don't allow boats on trailers.
Yep.
So now you got to put your boat on a trailer. You have to have a vehicle that's strong enough to pull the boat.
Yep.
You got to park it off-site somewhere. So quick, you want to go out for a sunset cruise, get the truck, drive out there, get the boat on the trailer, bring it back, load it up, take it to the ramp with all the other people, put it in the ramp, go for your boat ride, come back, pull out of the ramp.
And factor in your potential DUI from drinking beer on your boat all day.
Yeah, that counts too, right? And then you take it home, you wash it, and you take it back to the place.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not bragging, but I go with my remote control, push down, and my boat goes, and I get on it, and I drive away. So let's talk about the cost. What is the last marina you've seen? What are they charging per foot?
Oh man, 30 bucks a foot.
30 bucks a foot. Now, they don't charge for the size of your boat.
Size of the slip.
They charge size. So a 30-foot slip at $30 a foot is $9,000 a year, divided by 12 months is whatever it is. You're $600 or $700 a month to keep your boat.
Yep.
So let's say it's $600 a month times 12 months.
There's your flood insurance.
$7,200 a year to keep your boat.
Yep.
And you have to go through all the grief. Now you pay $7,200 a year and you pay flood insurance, but you push a button and your boat goes down and the sun sets right there.
Right.
And no matter where you are in Hammock Bay, that side, this side, you are literally minutes from the no-wake zone. The no-wake marker is right there. It says resume a normal, safe operation
Yep.
when you're not in manatee season, right? So let's talk about that too, because canals are not created equal, right? To have a waterfront canal that's deep, our controlling depth in Apollo Beach is 7.5 feet. What
That's
size
huge.
boat do you have to have a 7.5 foot?
If it fits in Tampa Bay, it fits here.
It fits here.
Yeah, there's no
Right?
shortage.
So you
here.
got a 75 foot wide lot. You could literally have a 50, 60, 70 foot boat.
You have a sailboat here with a big
You could have a
draft
sailboat with a
keel.
big draft.
Yeah.
Right. And you can't do that in many places in Tampa because once you get around McDill, the Gandy Bridge, the Howard Franklin Bridge, and the Courtney Campbell Causeway are all fixed span bridges.
Yep. And Skyway.
And the Skyway Bridge is fixed, but it's tall fixed.
Yeah.
And then you get a nice boat like that. Just right on time, Taylor. How'd you figure that one out? Right? He's just going, this is what, today's Thursday?
Yep.
Thursday around 10:30 in the morning, and this guy's going out for a ride on his boat. But he didn't have to go pick up his boat, bring it home, load it up, take it to a boat ramp,
That's right.
put it in, all that stuff. It's a lifestyle.
It's all lifestyle, and it's 37 people, guys. This is what I can't. This isn't a 400 lot community. This is such a luxury.
I wish we
niche.
had 400 lots. We
I know.
don't. We
I
can't
know.
make any more.
Yeah. This is it. I can't believe this piece lasted as long as it did. And this was a relationship you've had for a long, long time.
I've been working with the original owners of this land for over 30 years.
And that relationship was born 30 years ago.
Yep.
And then the trust came, and it came time for them to sell for their life.
Yep.
And found the buyer.
Yeah, Impact Properties is the buyer.
Yep.
They're the developer. They've hired the site contractors. They're in charge of all the financing, everything that went into this dirt. They had the vision of creating all the rules and everything that's here. And they've done a bang-up job.
Yeah.
They really have. This is going to be a world-class community of fine luxury custom homes.
This is luxury, man. And you know what's interesting here is the buyers we're looking at them right now. There's 37 people probably in South Shore
Right.
that have an older home that was built in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s.
And they've
like
made 200 or
Script.
300 grand on it.
Yeah, or
that here.
$1 million, right? Over if they've owned it for 10, 20 years, right? So taking that equity, pulling it out, putting it into one of these is going to be awesome. So this is like whisper campaign stuff here, right? This is, if you're seeing this, you're lucky. And if you're able to, and I think you're able to, even if you don't think you're able to, that's what you need to reach out to us. We got several hundred of the best real estate agents on the planet work for us, right? So reach out and we'll figure out how to make sure that this makes sense for you and play the equity game, right? So the least expensive lots are the 600s.
Yep.
So we're talking about $60,000 investment,
Yep.
right? Just to purchase a lot down. And then you got to close on it, next year sometime. But it makes sense. So this is for the people, the fortunate few, fortunate 37 left that are going to be able to live here. This is amazing. This is unreal.
Taylor, pan over there, because the other side of the street, this is the road for Hammock Bay. This side is what I call the south side overlooking
Yep.
the mangrove. The other side is spectacular as well, depending on what you like to look at.
We got a little past history on that section over there.
Yeah,
don't we?
our father developed that community in 1985, and the lots were $35,000.
That's called Symphony Isles.
The last lot sold here was $900,000, and it was trashed. They just put a $250,000 seawall in because the seawall was trashed.
Yeah.
So now these seawalls are included. You don't have to mess with anything. Plus, it's going to be higher elevation
Yep.
than there. So that's a community called Symphony Isles. Wonderful. I live on that street right there. So for proximity to the bay,
And you own one of these lots in here too.
I do.
He's moving.
But proximity to the bay is great. But it's an old house.
Yep.
It's 26 years old. So guess what? What are we building today?
Badass houses.
Are we putting icing in the roofs so the soffits don't get hot?
Yep.
You're getting brand new high efficiency water heaters. You're getting hurricane impact. None of this hurricane shutter stuff.
Right.
Our elevations are going to be higher. Our insulation's going to be better. Our windows are going to be better. And I can choose whatever I want.
Yep.
I was in the house we just finished up. One of the premier builders in here is Bartlett Custom Homes. I just looked at one of the houses he closed on last week. The owner picked a $30,000 Wolf range.
Yep.
It's gorgeous. You don't have to put a $30,000 range in. You could put a nice GE Profile Series range
Yep.
in.
You know why you do that?
Because you can.
Yep.
But you don't have to. So you could build on a budget or you could build over the top.
Yep.
Because the land here, if you look at Symphony Isles, like I was mentioning before, there's about 8 lots left. And that community has been around for 40 years now. And there's still 8 lots that are left. But they're all what I call the armpit lots. They come to a reverse pie, and there's very little waterfront. And even those lots now are $400,000 to $800,000, less than here.
Yep.
And they're not even dockable in some cases.
Yep.
So here you've got full dockable, higher elevations, and loaded custom construction, and you'll be surrounded by new homes.
Brand new homes.
Not homes that are 30, 40 years old.
Yep.
It's a different world. And there's only 37 left.
This is the 'Cause You Can neighborhood right here.
Yep.
This
and
is
it's so much more
spectacular.
fun for me now, because a year ago I'm saying, someday we're going to put roads here.
Yep.
And now the roads are here.
Yep.
Someday we're going to put seawalls in, and now the seawalls are here. Someday we're going to have water stub outs. You can see the electricity stubs, the water stubs. That's going to be the cul-de-sac for this point that we're standing on now. These lots are going to be $2 million plus. We haven't priced them yet.
The end ones, yep.
The end ones. That's just for a lot.
Yeah. Oh, these would be $5-6 million homes easy out here. Probably more, probably 10. But spectacular, man. This is unbelievable. And I think it's really cool being able to show it from this stage, because there's no doubt this isn't going to be sold out very soon.
Yeah.
And then we'll just be able to show progress as it goes. But if you're watching and you're able, guys, this is a dream. This is something. Life is short, man, right? The whole point of life is to have a great life and to have great experiences. And those, you're all working your butts off and you've done well. And reward yourself, right? This is what it's about. If you're able to, do it. You can't take it with you. Where do you get anything better than this? And anywhere near this region, it's spectacular. So.
Pan down there, because that's ELAT property, the Environmental Land Acquisition and Protection Program. That's 2,000 acres of mangrove fringe that's never going to be built on. And I personally live right across the canal, and I take my kayaks out and go across this little shallow basin.
Yep.
And a kayak is easy. But I've seen wild boar back there, egrets, spoonbills, herons. What a neat place for kids to just go explore.
Best snook fishing and redfish fishing.
Snookfish, redfish, all that stuff's right here. And Taylor, see the canal? That's dredged. We've dredged all the shallow spots here, so we have deep water. So you can see pretty clearly where you don't want to go.
Yeah.
Where the water's shallow, stay out for your boat, and then take the deep water canals all the way out. There's marked channels.
Yep.
Very safe for water. And we're in Tampa Bay, and so the port leads into downtown Tampa, which is right around that corner, and that shipping channel is lit at night.
Yep. And the cruise ships go back and forth.
I've got neighbors that take their boats downtown to watch the Rays
Yep.
play, or not the Rays,
Lightning.
Lightning.
You go that way for the Rays. There's
Yeah.
downtown St. Pete right there. Spectacular sunsets. That's due west right there. So you're getting sunsets
That's
every
incredible.
night dropping right there. So how cool is this? So on the point, it's what I love about this. If you go off that point, you can hardly see it today. The Sunshine Skyway lights up right there. You could see the Skyway at night. You can see downtown St. Pete lit up. You're going over MacDill Air Force Base, and then you see downtown Tampa right there too. So what a unique perspective on how many miles straight across, Craig?
That's 12 miles to St. Pete.
12 miles to the St. Pete Pier. Go over there and have some drinks, have some lunch, have some fun. Take
10
the boat
miles
out.
to downtown Tampa, and 16 miles to the Skyway Bridge, which is your access to the Gulf of Mexico for your deep fishing.
Yeah, and you got I-75 running right here, just popping back and forth. So you got everything you possibly
Oh,
need.
and let's talk about restaurants. So just in Apollo Beach itself, there's 2 waterfront restaurants you can go to by boat.
Yep.
Down in Ruskin, 6 miles away, there's 2 waterfront restaurants you can go to by boat. Downtown St. Pete, it's 12 miles. So at 30 miles an hour, it's a 24-minute boat ride. And there's dockage downtown. You can walk around downtown St. Pete. There's a host of shops, restaurants, and things to do. Around the MacDill Air Force Base is the Gandy Bridge. There's Hula Bay Restaurant, and there's Getaway. Those are fun little 30, 40-minute boat run. If you don't have to put your boat on a trailer, go
Yep.
pick it up,
Yep.
launch it, come back home, all that stuff. I just put the boat in the water, and 40 minutes later, I'm with the Getaway, right? Then you got downtown Tampa, Jackson's, Armature Works, Eulalie, all those places you can get to by boat. And you can't do that anywhere else. And
That's
that's
right.
just all right here for the taking,
We're good.
for the lucky 37.
37. Let's see how you quickly you make it be 36, 35, 34. These will be gone soon, guys. Reach out and grab one. You'll be happy that you did. Share this with somebody who you think should buy one if you're not going to, and then you can just come over and use their boat.
There
That's
you
the
go.
other background.
And they're probably gonna have a nice boat too.
That's right. Thanks for watching, guys.
Good.
Keep following for more.